no-shows, Putin and Trump, both saying they will not attend Ukraine peace talks. The two leaders each keeping the world guessing for days whether they would show up or not show up for talks tomorrow in Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he will go. He was very open. He'll go anywhere, anytime, and he will go if Putin goes. But Putin says no, which raises the question of whether all of these talks are dead. And Clarissa Ward is in Istanbul tonight. I mean, Clarissa, these talks were supposed to be the highest level. This was supposed to be Putin and Zelensky. And now here we are, no show by Putin, so no Zelensky. I mean, what does this mean for the peace talks?
At this stage, honestly, Erin, we really just don't know. President Zelensky is still expected to arrive in Ankara tomorrow in the Turkish capital to meet with President Erdogan. But he had said earlier on in a sort of telegram message that what would come next in terms of Ukraine's participation in those talks would depend largely on who Russia decided to send as part of its delegation. And as you mentioned, we have now seen the list of Russian delegates who will be coming. President Vladimir Putin is not among them, nor is Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. The head of the delegation is essentially a senior presidential aide. He is not someone certainly at the level of President Zelensky or President Trump. And so now we have to wait and see what the response will be. Do these talks still go ahead without obviously those major leaders meeting? What significance will they have if they do go ahead? We're still expecting to see Trump's foreign envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's Ukraine envoy Keith Kellogg come into town, but we're really unclear at this stage what this means for these talks and if in fact they will still go ahead, Erin.
So what does this mean for a ceasefire, which, I mean, I know Clarissa to even use that word can kind of make you feel a little bit silly given what we've seen on the ground, but what's the implication for that?
Well, I think realistically, hopes for this ceasefire are dimming. And, President Zelensky has been saying now for months and essentially calling Russia's bluff and saying that he does not believe that Vladimir Putin has any real interest in stopping this war, that he believes that Vladimir Putin has been playing for time. And now what we're seeing is kind of the proof in the pudding, effectively. On the other hand, one has to understand President Putin's perspective in this as well, what it would cost him domestically, politically, how he would spin sitting down with Volodymyr Zelensky, who he has, continuously castigated, who he has ruthlessly tried to oust from power, and the optics of that for him domestically. But certainly the prospect at this stage of any real meaningful kind of a ceasefire, when we have seen the Russians really continue to obfuscate in the face of continued forays from the Ukrainian side, even though they may be charged with some sort of daring them to meet the moment or calling their bluff, it really does make one feel that it is unlikely we're going to see a ceasefire anytime soon, Erin.
All right, Clarissa, thank you so much. Clarissa live in Istanbul tonight. And next, Sean Diddy Cohen.